If you guys thought that Monday Night Raw tonight was a complete disappointment, hit that thumbs up as hard as you possibly can. No, seriously, I want to see how many people thought that this show was so disappointing tonight. I don't give a fuck that this show was at Madison Square Garden. I even tweeted this out on Twitter earlier. I also said that Madison Square Garden was not a sellout crowd, by the way, for you fucking idiots that thought that MSG was a sellout crowd. I got a report earlier as Raw was on the air that Madison Square Garden tonight was not a sellout show. Just simple. Look at the fucking message that Brad Shepard, the tweet that Brad Shepard said. There was some empty fucking seats at the Garden tonight. A whole bunch of fucking empty seats tonight at the Garden. I even have friends tell me, oh, Chris, if people are saying on the broadcast, on the commentary team, that MSG is a sellout crowd, it's not a sellout crowd. I had a bunch of people that went to Monday Night Raw tonight, and they legitimately told me through text message, through Twitter DMs, Chris, MSG is not sold out. It's not sold out. So for you idiots out there that thought that MSG was a sellout crowd tonight, wrong. It was not a sellout crowd. Just to let you guys know, right there and then. I tweeted this out on Twitter. Let's play a drinking game. Each time someone on tonight's Raw show says Madison Square Garden, take a shot of whatever you're drinking. I hope by now you guys are fucking drunk to a certain point that you are not going to work tomorrow. Because they mentioned the words Madison Square Garden a bunch of times tonight. And I guarantee you, we're going to play that exact same game tomorrow on SmackDown Live. Because SmackDown Live tomorrow will also be at Madison Square Garden. This show is a complete disappointment, folks, to a point where I don't give a fuck what I say starting now on social media. I really don't. And you know that people are going to defend this show on social media, say, oh, Raw was one of the best. Raw tonight at Madison, at MSG was one of the best Raws of the entire year. Oh, because of Stone Cold Steve Austin, and we got a fucking Four HorseWomen tag team match, which nobody give a fuck about. But what am I? You know, I'm just a regular Yankee Stadium. I'm just a regular Yankee Stadium security officer who just sits here, does YouTube channel on wrestling and stuff, who don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Yeah, I'm a nobody though in the IWC. Yeah, I'm a nobody in the YWC. Yeah, I'm a nobody. I'm telling you, folks, Raw right now is in desperation mode. WWE right now is in desperation mode. And if you people don't see that, and if you people don't open your eyes and use your brain and see that this company right now is in a desperation mode because of the AEW effect, folks, I have no idea what the fuck to tell you. I have no idea what the fuck to tell you. There's no saving you at this point. There's no saving you. There's no saving you at this point. There isn't. There really isn't. You know what's going to happen here. You know eventually it's going to happen. Eventually, you know it's going to fucking happen. I also said this on Twitter. I don't care if this show is in Madison Square Garden. If you want your intelligence insulted, watch Monday Night Raw. I watch NXT where NXT doesn't insult my intelligence. NXT has more logic than Raw and SmackDown Live combined. Hashtag Raw. Am I not speaking facts or am I not speaking facts? Yeah, there's going to be a casual either in the comment section or tweeting me on Twitter. Oh, Chris, you're just a smart mark because the simple fact that you use your brain so much. Just take it for what it is, bro. I don't like my intelligence insulted. I don't. NXT and AEW is a way different league compared to Raw and SmackDown on a weekly basis. Don't give me this garbage. Don't give me this bullshit. We all knew why Stone Cold Steve Austin was on Raw tonight, to compete with Monday Night Football. And you people do realize that starting tonight, all the way to January, folks, WWE and Monday Night Raw is going to have to compete with Monday Night Football. You do realize that, though, right? You do realize that, right? You do. If you don't, you're a fucking blithering idiot. Use your brain, open your eyes, and realize that this company right now is in desperation mode, is in panic mode because of the AEW effect. And I said this on the podcast multiple times. Here. I bet you money if AEW was to have their television show at MSG, they sell out like this. They couldn't even sell out Monday Night Raw at the Garden. Vince McMahon could not sell out MSG for both Raw and SmackDown. I guarantee you, if they had an NXT takeover event at MSG or AEW having a television show or a pay-per-view in that building, it will sell out just like that. Because that's real wrestling. NXT and AEW, that's real wrestling. Raw and SmackDown, they do nothing but take your money and insult your intelligence at the exact same time. And most of these fucking cretins, most of these fucking virgins, most of these fucking degenerates on social media, they don't see that. They don't think that. If you people thought that Monday Night Raw tonight was a 10 out of 10 show, please deactivate your social media account and hand me your wrestling V card at the same fucking time. This show was disappointing to a point where I stopped watching after the Firefly Funhouse. I stopped watching the entire show. I stopped watching the rest of the show after the Firefly Funhouse. You think for a second that Raw was a 10 out of 10 show? You're a fucking dumbass. You're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking degenerate in this community. No cap. No fucks given. I don't give a shit. Mad, triggered, salty, pissed the fuck off? I don't give a fuck. Whatsoever. This is your official Monday Night Raw review for your Monday, September 9th, 2019. If you guys don't know who I am, I'm your boy Chris. Thank you guys so much for tuning back into the channel on this Monday, September 9th, 2019. Thank you guys so much for tuning back into the channel. If you guys thought that Monday Night Raw was so disappointing, hit that thumbs up. I want to see legitimately how many people thought that Raw was a fucking disappointment of a show tonight. Hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. What was your favorite part of Monday Night Raw tonight? I know what my favorite part of Raw tonight was. The Firefly Funhouse. No question. No question. Tonight's best part was either the Firefly Funhouse, the Triple Threat match for the King of the Ring tournament, the semifinals, and Rey Mysterio versus Grand Matalik. Great match. Great match. And if you guys are also new to the channel, be sure to show your support by hitting that subscribe button down below and turn on those bells, guys, for notifications. Episode 57 of the Reality Podcast, live on the channel right now. We talk about Roman Reigns addressing the fan conspiracy theory that his leukemia was being fake. I said my piece on it. It was going towards the end of the podcast, so hope you guys enjoy the podcast. I think that this video will be in the annotation above that you see on the upper hand corner of your screen. Also, check out the NBA 2K20 My Team Snipe Filter video. Yes, I'm starting to do those now in the channel. How to make MT using this silver filter in the auction house if you play NBA 2K20 My Team. So there you guys go. Don't mind my face because thanks to Cyrex, he wants to use my face. Cyrex, if you're watching the video, bro, I hope you send JD my comment, my message to him. I hope you send it to him. Link to this video will be in the annotation above that you see on the upper hand corner of your screen. Also, check out episode 56 of the Reality Podcast where we go over this fucking horrific horsewomen's match between Becky and Charlotte versus Sasha and Bayley. The match was fucking boring. No cap. The match is boring. Link to episode 56 of the podcast will be in the annotation above that you see on the upper hand corner of your screen. Also, check out episode 55 of the podcast as well from Friday's episode We go over the news about the draft coming up in October with Raw and SmackDown, and maybe NXT possibly being involved in the draft as well. Link to episode 55 of the Reality Podcast will be in the annotation above that you see on the upper hand corner of your screen. Also, check out NXT UK TakeOver Cardiff review. Listen, man, the pay-per-view, man, was fucking incredible. One of the best pay-per-views, in my opinion, of 2019. No cap. With the main event being Walter defending the UK Championship against Tyler Bate. 42 minutes of a absolute classic. My God. My God. Link to NXT UK TakeOver Cardiff review will be in the annotation above that you see on the upper right hand corner of your screen. This is the official home of the Reality Podcast, so make sure you are following me on social media. Twitter, Chris from Loring, and Snapchat, Chris was hated. And like I said, if you guys are enjoying the content, be sure to show your support by smashing and hitting that subscribe button down below. And turn on those bells, guys, for notifications. Let's begin Monday Night Raw review from the quote-unquote sold out Madison Square Garden in New York City. What did you guys thought that Raw was going to kick off with? What did you guys thought that Monday Night Raw was going to kick off with? Was it going to kick off with AJ Styles, maybe Seth Rollins, Braun Strowman, the King of the Ring tournament? No! Of course, Raw kicks off with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Of course it did. Of course it did. Raw kicked off with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Austin makes his way down to the ring with the biggest pop of the entire night. I was there for Raw 25 at Barclays Center last year. The glass breaking, my God, it's unforgettable. My God, my God. If you guys go and check out that entry that Stone Cold Steve Austin did at Raw 25 last year at Barclays Center on the Go Home show before the Rumble last year, amazing. The show was terrible, don't get me wrong, the show was terrible, but the best part of that night was Stone Cold Steve Austin. That was the best part of the entire show that night. Tonight, obviously right here in MSG, here in New York City, a real wrestling city outside of Chicago, Raw kicked off with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Austin poses off all four corners to a huge sustained pop, the biggest pop of the night in my honest opinion. Stone Cold grabs some beers right off the bat and sinks them before getting on the mic. Austin says it's good to be back at MSG, and somebody told him it had been over 20 years since he's been back at Madison Square Garden. But before we get down to the contract signing, Austin wants to go down memory lane. You know, it's because of the fucking nostalgia act here at MSG. He says he will never forget standing in the corner at Survivor Series of 1996, ready to face Bret the Hitman Hart. He recounts leaning on the ropes and hearing Bret's music hit the PA system and the hair raising all over his body. He also remembers coming out here and Vince trying to serenade him over his neck, and he hit him with the first stunner in his very building. And one last memory, around 1998 against The Undertaker at SummerSlam, Highway to Hell. One of my favorite feuds of all time was Austin and Taker, Highway to Hell, SummerSlam 98. One of my favorite all-time feuds in wrestling history. He tells the story of The Undertaker accidentally knocking him up from a headbutt. He said it was the first time he ever got knocked out. And remembers asking Earl Hebner where he was, to which Earl replied, "God damn it, boy, you're in the garden." Austin says he cleaned that up for TV. Obviously because it's PG, obviously. Stone Cold gets to the matter at hand and says last week's Raw saw the contract signing descend into chaos. So he's here to play the moderator. He asked the fans if they want to see this contract signed, and they gave a rapturous hell yeah. Of course. Austin introduced one half of the Raw Tag Team Champions, which is Braun Strowman. Oh, I apologize. Yawn. Boring. Strowman. The Monster Among Men extends his hand for a shake, and Austin stares at him, promptly leads the fans to chant Austin. That was an intense moment there between Strowman and Austin. He doesn't shake Braun's hand, instead introduces the other half of the Raw Tag Team Champions and the Universal Champion, Seth freaking Rollins. Those are Austin's words himself. Austin says we have business to take care of, then shakes both men's hands. He says he is here to help this contract sign, so let's get to it. Seth said that's great, But first of all, he's here at MSG. Take a shot. Oh, yeah, and when Austin said MSG, take a shot as well. Where am I at here? Along with Steve Austin, that's what he means when he says burn it down. Seth says that Braun here thinks Austin might have it out for him, but it's Seth himself who has it out for Braun. The fans start whiting Seth, but he learns, or should I say what here? Whiting. What? Everything that Rollins said and stopped. What? But he leans into it and plays a joke with Austin. Seth says he is the best and he intends to retain both of his titles on Sunday. Seth signs the contract. You do realize when Seth Rollins said the best in the world, the best on the planet, the fans started booing him. Braun he grabs the mic and says to Austin that he has watched him his entire life and has nothing but respect, the utmost respect. However, a rattlesnake is still a snake. He turns his attention to Seth and says that he loves being tag team champion, but he'll love being universal champion even more. And to quote Austin, he can't wait to open a can of whoop ass on Sunday. Braun signs the contract and Austin stares to wrap things up. And all of a sudden, the OC comes out with AJ Styles and they interrupt once again. This is the same thing as last week. I'm not going to go over everything because even though Styles and Austin had a great promo, they had a great promo together. They had a great promo. As a matter of fact, I'll go over the promo and then I'm not going to go over the rest. Because obviously you guys know what happened in the rest of it. Styles says that they don't want none of Steve Austin, then proceeds to mock him and asks if anybody cares about him anymore. The fans chant yes, then started wanting Styles instead. AJ tells them to shut up and then tells Austin to focus his beady eyes on him and get out of the ring because he doesn't want to get hurt. Styles says this has nothing to do with Steve Austin and the fans barely let him speak for chanting, "What?" It was enjoyable, not gonna lie to you, it was very enjoyable. Styles says that is why nobody likes coming to New York. But Austin says, why don't you put a little bass in your voice, to which AJ tells him to shut up. Styles says Seth and Braun didn't have the guts to grant Gallows and Anderson a rematch. That's because they beat them last week. Mr. AJ Styles. The reason why Braun and Seth are not giving the OC a rematch is because they beat them last week. And then we got a 5-on-2 assault. Tough. The fans start chanting asshole, and Austin says he doesn't know how good AJ's hearing is, but the fans are calling him an asshole. I remember back then when Austin used to say, "Hey Vince, but you got 15,000 people calling you an asshole." She was hilarious. Now, Then, from there, AJ and the OC get on the apron, and Styles says Austin has become an asshole in his old age. Styles calls Austin an old fart. I laughed a little bit. I giggled. And says Steve has got to know where he's coming from. Austin begins moving the table from the middle of the ring and says he doesn't know where AJ is coming from, but he damn sure knows where he's going. And then from there, Seth and Braun attack. Another brawl's happening and shit. Fucking... The brawl goes to the outside. AJ Styles is in the ring after taking out Seth Rollins. And then Austin, out of nowhere, delivers a picture-perfect Stone Cold Stunner to AJ Styles. So there you go. And that's how this segment ended. Austin talks trash into the face of AJ Styles before drinking some beers and posing on the ropes, then leaving. So there you go right there. This segment, I'm not going to lie to you, it was okay for what it was. I'm not going to lie to you. It was okay for what it was. The only great part about it was Austin just talking and stuff like that, hearing the glass break and stuff like that, and that's about it. At least the contract has officially been signed. Good. The contract has officially been signed for Clash of Champions. Now, we can go to Sunday, have Seth retain the title, and then Seth can lose the title, hopefully to Bray Wyatt at Hell in a Cell. Because I do not give a fuck about this match whatsoever. This is the exact same thing that we saw last week. Just take off Michael Cole and put in Stone Cold Steve Austin. This is the exact same thing that we saw last week. Copy and paste this week, folks. Copy and paste this week. Copy and paste this week. Didn't the contract signing kick off Raw last week? Did it? Yeah. Didn't the freaking contract signing kick off Raw last week? I think it did. Second straight week, the contract signing kicks off Raw. The best part about this was Austin giving AJ the Stone Cold Stunner. That's it. That's about it, which was picture perfect, by the way. And AJ sold the living shit out of that Stone Cold Stunner. He sold the living shit out of that stunner. Gotta give AJ, man, credit on his selling ability. It's amazing. Absolutely love it. We're back live, and AJ Styles is still in the ring, recuperating from the stunner. Cedric Alexander comes down to the ring for a match with the Phenomenal One. So there you go. We got a match between AJ and Cedric to kick off Raw when it comes to the wrestling portion of the match. Now, Cedric wins by disqualification here. Cedric wins by DQ. AJ is continuing to hurt the arm. He eats a back elbow from Cedric, who follows up with chops and punches. Cedric catches a running Styles with a beautiful Michinoku driver for a near fall. Alexander reverses a back suplex and delivers a back elbow. Cedric hits an enziguri from the apron, but he's attacked by Cedric. He's attacked by Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, causing a disqualification with Cedric Alexander winning by DQ. Anderson and Gallows get Cedric in the ring and begin beating him down, but out come the Viking Raiders, who lay a beating on the OC. Alexander drop kicks AJ from the ring before Eric and Ivar hit the Viking Experience, or should I say Thor's Hammer, to Anderson. Really? From there, I kind of knew from that point on, I kind of knew where this was going. I honestly did. I honestly thought from there, I already knew where it was going. We're just missing two more individuals. And then we got a 10-man tag. This is legitimately what I was thinking. This was legitimately what I was thinking. Oh, you got the OC. You got fucking Cedric. You got the War Raiders. Then you got Rollins and Strowman. All you need is two more people. That's it. All you need is two more people. There you go. And then you got yourself a 10-man tag in the main event of Monday Night Raw. Who books this crap? Huh? Who books this crap? Let me know. Who books this crap? Moving on here. We see Sasha Banks and Bayley backstage. Sasha says she heard Becky and Flair were angry last week, but they should be mad. Bayley says they're back together and ain't nobody taking their titles. What titles? Huh? What titles? Bayley's SmackDown Women's title? I guess. Sasha reiterates it, and they clap hands. We see Charlotte and Becky warming up while they were looking at each other, upset. Looking very, very upset. I'm upset because of the fact that they fucking booked this match on a random edition of Monday Night Raw with no build. Yet people on social media during the weekend were arguing with me because of the fact, they booked the Four HorseWomen matchup for Monday Night Raw because it's important to Madison Square Garden. You're a fucking clown. You're a joke if you thought that was going to fucking happen. There were people telling me on social media, this Four HorseWomen tag team match is going to main event Monday Night Raw. If you legitimately thought that going into the show, you're a fucking clown. You're a joke. No cap. You're a joke. Don't give a shit. I hurt your feelings? Fuck off. I don't give a shit. We see a short clip of the Firefly Funhouse where Bray says he'll be hosting a brand new episode later tonight. Good. Can't wait. Looking forward to it. It's September. Going back from commercial break, it's September. And therefore, Cancer Awareness Month. So we get a look at a bunch of awesome kids who are struggling with the disease. Roman Reigns makes his way to the stage and says that it's been almost a year since he made his announcement that he had leukemia. He says with the help of support of the fans, he was able to beat it. He says that love and strength helped change his perspective as well, and now he tries to raise awareness and pay that love forward to others. So in the past few months, he's been visiting pediatric hospitals across the country, including New York. So when they knew that they were coming back to New York, he wanted to bring out some special kids. The first kid was called Julius, and he's wearing a crown. The next is Antonio and Terror. Antonio L. Hold on, let me see. Antonio L. He's donating a Sin Cara mask. Oh yeah, he came out wearing a Sin Cara mask. Next up is Miguel, followed by Liam the Red Ninja and Liana the Terror. Roman stands with the kids on the stage and says that they're all warriors who have been through incredible fights, but the work isn't done because there's a lot of people who are only beginning their fight. He asks fans to support Conor's cure at ConorTheCrusher.com, and that's the end of this segment. Speaking of Roman Reigns, if you guys haven't checked out episode 57 of the Reality Podcast from earlier today, it's live on the channel right now. There is a timestamp in the description where I started to begin to talk about Roman Reigns and this whole fan conspiracy thing with the leukemia situation. I said my piece to it. I said my piece and everything else, and I'm not gonna lie to you. When I was talking about that part with Roman Reigns and everything, and then I mentioned Jessica's godmother, I almost wanted to cry during that point of the podcast. I almost wanted to cry because I know how, and I said this on the podcast earlier. I know cancer is made to be no joke. People cannot just sit there and joke about cancer. But like I said, do I think that Roman Reigns had leukemia? At least some form of leukemia? Yes, I did. There were reports out there saying that Roman had to take oral treatment so he didn't have to lose his hair and his muscle mass and stuff like that. He didn't have to lose that, so he was good to go from there. But at the exact same time, do I blame people for even thinking that they could fake Roman's leukemia? I don't blame you at all. I'm not going to sit here and say, I'm not saying that you're thinking the fact that Roman did not have leukemia. People have the right to think that. It's obviously their opinion. But at the same time, this is the exact same company that faked Vince McMahon's death back in 2007. Remember when Vince entered a white limousine and as soon as he closed that door, the limo completely exploded? That episode of Monday Night Raw. And that ended Monday Night Raw as well. I remember that, watching that episode while I was in freaking high school. I remember that. I apologize. This is the exact same company that faked Vince McMahon's death. You can't put it past this company to do something like that. But then again, I'm not going to sit here and say, you people think that Roman Reigns' leukemia situation was fake. No, I don't think it was. I don't think it was fake. Because one thing about cancer, once you get rid of it, it can come back at some way at some point. It can come back to you. I mentioned the fact that Jessica's godmother survived breast cancer and how I respect her so much every single time I see her. Because she went through a tough battle and she kicked breast cancer's ass, and that's about it. And now she's living life to the fullest, and life is just so precious. So if you people thought that Roman Reigns did not have leukemia, you're a fucking idiot. You're an idiot. If I was to fucking be face to face with Joanna White, I would shake his hand and say, good thing that you fought this cancer and you beat it again. I respect Joanna White, and people just don't know the difference between Joanna White and Roman Reigns. Joanna White is a real life person. Roman Reigns is a fucking character on television. So please do not just sit there and say, I think Roman Reigns did not have leukemia. He wanted to do this, or should I say Vince wanted to do this so Roman can get over. I don't blame you for thinking that. I really don't. I don't blame you for thinking that whatsoever. It's just that people were legitimately thinking that, Roman Reigns does not have cancer. Maybe Vince is doing this to put him over. Like I said, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. But don't say, oh, that Roman does not have leukemia. At least know the facts first before anything. Then you think about it first. Or should I say after that? Moving on here with the show. Then we got Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks and Bayley. Where are the people? Where are the people that said this show, this matchup, was going to main event Monday Night Raw? Where are those people at right now? Probably hiding in their basements, probably hiding in their mother's room and shit, in their closet, not doing absolutely anything. Again, I'm just a security officer working for the most valuable baseball team in the country that doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. People were legitimately telling me about, oh, the reason why they booked this Four HorseWomen tag team match was because it's so important to Madison Square Garden. This match was boring. No cap. Boring. Pointless. Boring. Unnecessary at the same fucking time. Why did they book this matchup? And I'm not even going to go over everything in this matchup. Just know, Bayley got pinned by Charlotte Flair in this matchup. Bayley got pinned by Charlotte Flair. Bayley got pinned by her opponent on Sunday. Let me tell you why Bayley turned heel last week. Let me tell you why Bayley turned heel last week. I was watching Off the Script earlier, JD. I was watching Off the Script earlier, and JD brought up a good point. And I didn't think about this until when he said it. There was a report out there saying that the reason why Bayley turned heel. When I tell you guys this right now, you're going to think, what the fuck is this company thinking? The reason why Bayley turned heel was because Charlotte versus Bayley at Clash of Champions is in Charlotte's hometown. So this company felt that Charlotte was going to get cheered and Bayley was going to get booed. That's why the heel turn happened when it happened last week on Raw. Basically, they only turned Bayley heel for one night only. And JD also brought up a great point. What's going to happen after Clash of Champions? When Charlotte wins back the SmackDown Women's Championship, people are going to boo Charlotte and people are going to cheer for Bayley. I completely agree with that. I completely do. I agree with that. It's completely fact as well. It's fact. Charlotte is a natural heel. Bayley is a natural babyface. So I ask this question right now. Why did you turn Bayley heel to begin with? Oh, it's because of Clash of Champions. We're in Charlotte's hometown. So Charlotte is going to get the fucking cheers and Bayley will most likely get booed. Guess what the fuck happened in this boring match tonight? Charlotte pinned Bayley. Ladies and gentlemen, there is your spoiler for Clash of Champions. I even said this on Twitter. Ladies and gentlemen, we just saw a spoiler for Clash of Champions between Charlotte and Bayley. I guarantee you that Bayley is going to tap out on Sunday where Charlotte wins the SmackDown Women's Championship on Sunday. This company is so fucking clueless. Hashtag Raw. This company is a fucking joke. This company's a fucking joke. No cap. No cap. I wasn't even paying attention to this match. I don't care. They're giving me this matchup with no fucking build whatsoever. Here's my phone. There you go. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. You're giving me a tag team match with no build. With no build. I was talking to my buddy Frank earlier about this, and he said, oh, This match should have happened at a pay-per-view with build. With build. Then I wouldn't care about this match. I agree with everything my buddy Frank said. You could have gave me this match at a random pay-per-view with the proper build. I wouldn't care about this match. Guess what? This match happened on a random edition of Raw at MSG to compete with Monday Night Football. And I said this earlier in the beginning of this review. This show on Monday Night Raw, every single week between now and January, Monday Night Football will be Monday Night Raw's competition every single week. I would not be surprised if this show tomorrow night, when we find out the ratings for Raw, is below a 2. A below of a 2. The highest I'll give this show rating, probably a 2.2. The lowest, I'll probably say 1.9 to 1.8. I'll be shocked if it's above 2. Above a 2.3. That I'll be shocked. That I'd be shocked. People, we really got 70% of the matches that we're getting out of these 4 ladies on Sunday. Sasha and Becky, they got their shit in. Bayley and Charlotte, they got their shit in. We already seen at least 70% of the match on Sunday. I guarantee you this Sunday we get the other 30%. Let me say this now. Now, the only positive thing here was that Sasha didn't get pinned. The only positive thing about this is that Sasha did not get pinned. Good. 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 I'd rather have this match be first and then Becky and Sasha go on second out of the 2. Believe me, this is fucking garbage. And then people thought on social media that this match was going to main event Monday Night Raw. Are you fucking serious? Are you fucking serious, bro? You thought that this match was going to main event this episode of Monday Night Raw with Stone Cold Steve Austin in attendance? You're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. Becky and Charlotte win. Do you care? No. I fucking thought so. The OC are interviewed backstage and AJ says they run the place. Yeah, sure you do. Robert Roode, I apologize, but I'm going to call him Bobby. Fuck that. Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggles walk up and laugh at them, saying that they didn't look like they run the place earlier tonight. Ziggles says if they had any brains, they would join forces and thwart their common enemies. AJ smiles and fist bumps Dolph. There you go. 10-man tag. There you go. All we needed was Roode and Ziggles. Up, 10-man tag confirmed. And guess what? Coming out of the fucking commercial break, we got a 10-man tag confirmed. Absolutely tough. Tough. This show gets more and more and more disappointing as the show goes on. We get a match between Rey Mysterio and Grand Matalik. This match was good. Not gonna lie to you. One of the best matches of the entire night. One of the best matches of the entire night. Rey wins with the 619, heads up top, and hits the Flux Blast for the victory over Grand Matalik. So there you go. Rey wins. I don't know where they go with this from here with Rey, but let's hope it leads to his son Dominic having his debut real soon. Rey wins over Grand Matalik. After the match, Rey helps Grand Matalik to his feet, and they share a great moment. We see Braun and Seth Rollins talking to Cedric Alexander backstage, and then they confirm the 10-man tag with Braun and Seth teaming up with Cedric and the Viking Raiders, taking on the OC, Ziggles, and Roode. There you go. The 10-man tag, which I didn't even give a shit about. The Street Profits, again, why are they on Raw, are backstage and they explain why the show is so amazing. Who the fuck lied to you? Giving their usual recap and what's to come. Angelo Dawkins tries hitting on Sasha Banks through the camera. They send us to a video replay of Daniel Bryan, Rowan, and Roman Reigns feud. We get a match between Roman and Rowan on Sunday at Clash of Champions. I wonder who's going to win that match there. If you guessed Roman Reigns, ding, 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 you are correctamundo. One match that I can care less about on Sunday. Samoa Joe makes his way to the ring for a King of the Ring Triple Threat Semi-Final match. The winner goes to the finals representing Raw at Clash of Champions on Sunday. Before I begin with this Triple Threat, man, you guys see all these thumbnails and shit with the NXT UK TakeOver Cardiff review, episode 55 of the podcast, episode 56 of the reality podcast, this NBA 2K20 My Team video thumbnail, and episode 57 of the reality podcast as well as this, which is my Twitter header, and this layout. It's all because of Cyrex. If you guys haven't noticed, Cyrex is not my thumbnail maker. He is also one of my best friends in the IWC. I want to give a special shout out to Cyrex. Cyrex is a great graphics designer. He's one of the best in the IWC, if not the best in the IWC. He's working with amongst of Salamonster, JD, and also House of Glory. If you guys need any layouts, YouTube thumbnails, YouTube logos, album covers, you name it, whatever the fuck you want, hit up my boy Cyrex. Cyrex's Twitter account will be down below in the description. His Twitter is SRXGFX on Twitter. Once again, it is fucking Cyrex on Twitter. His Twitter is SRXGFX on Twitter. Cyrex, shout out to you, bro. We're going to finish off Monday Night Raw here with the King of the Ring Triple Threat Semi-Final matchup with the winner heading to Clash of Champions in the finals representing Monday Night Raw between Baron Corbin, Ricochet, and Samoa Joe. This match was great. Not gonna lie to you, this match was it was a really good match. Now, one thing I want to say positive about the King of the Ring tournament, they have really displayed great matches. Great matches. In my opinion, the best match of this King of, in this entire King of the Ring tournament has to be Drew McIntyre versus Ricochet. Has to be one of the best matches of this entire tournament. Drew McIntyre versus Ricochet. And when it came to the SmackDown side, I gotta say it was Ali versus Buddy Murphy. What's the second best match in the entire tournament? If I'm forgetting another matchup, let me know down below in the comment section, because I'm not really that great when it comes to matches and memory in the tournament. But I will say this though, almost the majority of this tournament, the matches have been great. The matches have been fantastic. This Triple Threat match was good, really good. It was a good matchup, but we kind of knew coming into this matchup, after what happened last week with Samoa Joe and Ricochet, with their semifinal match last week, and how that match ended up becoming a draw, and they got added to the semifinal match against Baron Corbin. Usually, it would be a draw, nobody wins, and then whoever advanced to the semifinals goes straight to the finals. That wasn't the case after what happened last week. After what happened last week, they killed this entire fucking tournament. They killed this entire tournament. You guys are going to guess who won this matchup. You're going to sit here and guess who in the fuck won this matchup here. Now, before anything, I want to go to DJ Storms. And he mentioned something on Twitter that really caught my eye here. And he spoke nothing but facts here. He legitimately spoke nothing but facts here. Storms, if you're watching, shout out to you, bro. Storm says, Ricochet, Andrade, Buddy Murphy, Samoa Joe, Cesaro, Apollo Crews, Drew McIntyre, The Miz, Sami Zayn, Cedric Alexander, Kevin Owens, and Ali. So that's 12 people. Hold on. Ricochet, Andrade, Buddy Murphy, Samoa Joe, Cesaro, Apollo Crews, Drew McIntyre, The Miz, Sami Zayn, Cedric Alexander, Kevin Owens, and Ali. That's 12 people. 12 people. We're all a part of the King of the Ring tournament, but yet Baron Corbin is in the finals. What a waste of a tournament. Hashtag Raw. I spoke to TM about this. About who did you think is going to win the tournament? You know who he told me in the very beginning of this tournament? Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin. He picked Drew McIntyre after he got out of the tournament by Ricochet. He changed his mind immediately and went to Baron Corbin. So TM, I blame you, bro. I blame you for having Baron Corbin in the finals. I blame you for it. No, I'm kidding though. Listen, TM is a great guy. He's like my brother to me. Corbin was TM's pick for the King of the Ring tournament. And guess where he's at now? The finals. He's in the finals of this King of the Ring tournament. He's in the finals of this King of the Ring tournament. The matchup was great though. Not gonna lie to you, the matchup was great. Ricochet rolls Joe into the ring and then goes up top for the 630 splash. But Joe moves out of the way and then locks him in the coquina clutch. Ricochet uses the turnbuckles to backflip out of the hold and then connects with a recoil, which is the code breaker. Ricochet goes up top and hits the 630 splash. Corbin, and by the way, that 630 looked nasty. The way that Ricochet landed, nasty. Corbin pulls Ricochet out of the ring, tosses him over the barricade, which he sold very well on, by the way. Then slides into the ring and pins Samoa Joe for the victory. Jessica, if you're watching this video at this point, you might be pissed off. Baron Corbin won and goes to the finals. Jessica obviously picked Ricochet to win the entire tournament, and I told her he's going to lose to Baron Corbin. And guess what? Corbin is in the finals of this King of the Ring tournament. He's in the finals, folks, of this King of the Ring tournament. And I said this on Twitter. Hold on. I said this on Twitter. Give me a second here. I said, yep, Corbin is going to win the King of the Ring tournament on Sunday. Hashtag Raw. I said on Twitter, yep, Corbin is going to win the King of the Ring tournament on Sunday. Hashtag Raw. Done. I said this on the podcast. King Corbin has a nice ring to it. He's in the finals now. Most likely he's going to face Chad Gable. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Chad Gable picks up a surprising upset of the fucking century victory over Elias on SmackDown Live tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't be that surprised. I really wouldn't. That's how you know this company is fucking clueless. Corbin wins. The matchup was great, though. I'm not going to lie to you. The matchup was great. Listen, one thing that Corbin can deliver very, very well is that deep six. So beautiful. And the fact Corbin didn't even use the end of days doing this match. He did not use the end of days doing this match. Save that for the finals, which I like. Save the end of days for the finals. You didn't need it in this matchup. You did not need the end of days doing this matchup. You did not. You just got to pick the right opportunity to come in and fuck everything up. Which is what King Corbin did. Baron Corbin did. You see what I mean? TM. You see what I mean, bro? I just called him King Corbin. You see what I mean, bro? Jesus Christ. Come on, bro. Corbin wins, makes the finals. Congrats to him. We all know he's going to win the entire tournament anyways. To begin with. Corbin is progressed to the finals of the King of the Ring tournament. He will face the winner of Elias and Chad Gable tomorrow night. And the finals will take place on Sunday at Clash of Champions. Then we get trash, nasty, garbage Lacey Evans in the ring. She has a matchup with Natalya up next. We've seen this match last week. 50-50 booking. Lacey wins last week. Natty wins tonight with the sharpshooter. One thing that was, I gotta say this though. One thing was funny during this matchup between Lacey and Natty. Corey Graves said, if it was up to me, if I was running New York, and I deadass laughed at this for the last 5 minutes of this matchup. I deadass laughed when when Corey Graves said, if I was running New York, I would change that nasty, he would change the nasty Statue of Liberty and replace it with Lacey Evans. I deadass laughed. It was hilarious. He called the Statue of Liberty a nasty. Completely funny. Fucking hilarious. Natty wins with the sharpshooter. Lacey taps out. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? I'm not going to go over the 24/7 garbage. I really am not. The announcers run down the card for Classic Champions this Sunday from North Carolina. Charlotte, North Carolina, to be exact. Then we get to the best part of the entire fucking show. The Firefly Funhouse. It's time for the Firefly Funhouse. Bray speaks in an Italian accent and says it is a Today episode, but then Rambling Rabbit appears and says he saw a stranger with Sept and Braun. Bray asks if he means Stone Cold Steve Austin, and the other puppets say yes. Abby the Witch says her clock has been stuck at 3:16 ever since Steve Austin appeared. Attention to detail with that clock. Attention to detail with that clock. All the puppets yell stranger danger until Bray screams, and then Bray screams at them to stop and hold his ears. He begins laughing and offers to fix Abby's clock, which he smashes with a hammer until it says 11:19. Attention to detail, folks. The clock switched from 3:16 to 11:19. Think about those words. Think about those numbers. 11:19. Bray says Seth and Braun invoked the Fiend, but Steve is just a rattlesnake, and you can't blame a snake for being a snake. And a stranger tonight, and a stranger is just a friend you don't know. He says he looks at Braun and Seth, who made new friends tonight, but friends won't help them where they're going, because friends forgive, but the Fiend never forgets. See you in hell, and that's it for the game. I want to give a shout out to Devin, if you're watching, bro. Devin mentioned me on Twitter. He mentioned me and JD on Twitter about this 11:19 situation. Now, JD tweeted on Twitter, if I can pull up the tweet. Give me a second. If I can pull up JD's tweet. JD says, Bray Wyatt's clock was stuck on 11:19. That's a Tuesday. I would keep an eye out for that. That would mean something. It could not. Everything on the Firefly Funhouse has a meaning. Ladies and gentlemen, Devin has led me to that meaning. 11:19. November 19th, 1990 was the debut of The Undertaker. 11 is November. The day is 19 of 1990. Bray Wyatt, from what I got, and the vibe on this Firefly Funhouse episode, Bray Wyatt is going to smack the life tomorrow and attack The Undertaker. I said this on the podcast on episode 57 earlier today. What if Wyatt didn't attack Austin? What if he attacked Austin? That would be a good thing. Be a great thing if he attacked Stone Cold Steve Austin, a Hall of Famer. But what if Bray Wyatt attacks The Undertaker instead? Maybe that's why we didn't get what we got at the end of Raw tonight. Maybe that's why. Maybe they're saving Bray Wyatt for a bigger scenario. That bigger scenario, folks, is Bray Wyatt attacking The Undertaker. Attention to detail. That clock changed from 3:16 to 11:19. 11:19 represents The Undertaker's debut at Survivor Series on November 19th, 1990. Bray Wyatt tomorrow night, and I'm going to guess this tomorrow, he's going to the Garden and attack The Undertaker on SmackDown Live tomorrow. And I even said this, and I said this on the podcast earlier today. What if? Now, I'm just saying what if. I'm not saying for this company to book this, but it's a possibility. What if? What if Bray Wyatt wins the Universal Championship at Hell in a Cell against Seth Rollins, which is most likely going to even happen? What if Wyatt pins Rollins and wins the Universal Championship at Hell in a Cell? Meanwhile, he attacked The Undertaker on the go-home show of SmackDown Live before Clash of Champions. What if Bray Wyatt and The Undertaker have a match at Crown Jewel for the Universal Championship? Now, this could be a one-on-one match, or Wyatt can compete twice in one night. Wyatt can defend the title at one part of the show, while it goes one-on-one with The Undertaker on the other part of the show. Now, obviously, that would be an overkill if you put him in two matches. Obviously, that's complete overkill. What if they book Wyatt and Taker for Crown Jewel for the Universal Championship? You gotta ask yourself and think to yourself this question. Do you think The Undertaker is gonna beat Bray Wyatt for the Universal Championship? No. What if they don't book the match for Wyatt and Rollins at Hell in a Cell? What if they don't book that match? What if they don't? If they don't book Wyatt versus Rollins at Hell in a Cell, I can clearly 100% see Wyatt versus Taker at Crown Jewel. Because if you guys remember, there was a report out there that says, oh, it was Triple H, Jason Jordan, and the Undertaker that's behind the Firefly Funhouse. All three of those men are behind the Fiend character. What if Taker wants to fight Bray Wyatt at Crown Jewel, or maybe at Survivor Series, and Taker puts him over? And Taker puts Bray Wyatt over. What if? What if? I wouldn't put it past this company to even do that. I really wouldn't. I wouldn't put it past this company whatsoever to do that. What if Taker is asking for a match against Bray Wyatt where he wants to put Bray Wyatt over? You gotta respect Taker for that. But at this point, a victory over The Undertaker doesn't mean shit now. It's gonna mean something to Bray Wyatt. It's gonna mean something to the Fiend character. It's gonna mean something to him. It's gonna absolutely mean something to him. You know what? You know what that's gonna mean to Bray Wyatt and the Fiend character? If Bray Wyatt has a match against The Undertaker, most likely either at Crown Jewel or Survivor Series. I can obviously see this happen at Survivor Series. At Survivor Series. Bray could represent Raw and Taker can represent SmackDown. They can obviously do that. A Raw versus SmackDown dynamic. At the same time, you can keep that dynamic for Raw and SmackDown. Bray is a Raw superstar, have Taker as a SmackDown superstar, and those two can go one-on-one at Survivor Series. You know what that's gonna mean for Bray Wyatt and the Fiend character? He's gonna be the PG version of The Undertaker. You know how people were scared of Taker when he made his debut back at 1990? People were scared of The Undertaker. Just how people were scared of Bray Wyatt back at SummerSlam. They were scared of him, legitimately scared. He had the lanyard of his former self and shit and everything else. It was great shit. It was great shit. I wouldn't put it past this company whatsoever if they book Wyatt versus Taker, possibly at Survivor Series. Possibly at Survivor Series. If not, Crown Jewel. If not, Crown Jewel. So if you guys were thinking what the 11-19 stood for, it stands for The Undertaker's debut, which he's going after The Undertaker. He's going after The Undertaker. There you go. But it was a good episode of the Firefly Funhouse. Finally, guys, the end Raw. I just really don't give a shit about this. I didn't even watch it, but I don't really care. Rollins, Strowman, Cedric Alexander, and the Viking Raiders against the OC, Ziggles, and Rude. The babyfaces win. Obviously, Cedric picks up a victory. He hits Styles with the lumbar check, and there you go. Match is over. Once Cedric got the 1, 2, 3, Austin's music hits, and the Austin comes down to the ring. He grabs beers and joins the babyfaces in the ring for a beer bash. The babyfaces are loving life as they gouge Broken Skull IPA. I really want to try that beer. I really want to try that beer. The babyfaces are loving life, and it goes broken skull IPAs, and that's the end of Monday Night Raw. People were thinking that Bray Wyatt was going to come out of nowhere and attack Stone Cold Steve Austin. They're saying, now we know why. Now I know why. That Wyatt did not attack Austin. They're saving it for a better, possibly a better scenario. If you didn't have Wyatt attack Austin, he's going to attack The Undertaker. Austin's a Hall of Famer. You can't have Stone Cold Steve Austin be attacked by Bray Wyatt. You can't. You got to have Wyatt attack somebody else who's just as close to him. A older version of Bray Wyatt. It's The Undertaker. I think this is brilliant. If this is being booked right, if this company books this right, Bray Wyatt could be, he's already the most legit thing in his company, character-wise. How's he going to be portrayed on TV? I like how we're not seeing Bray Wyatt every single week. I love that. It makes me, as a fan, want to see him more. It makes me, as a fan, want to see Bray Wyatt more. Give me a second. Okay, there you go. It makes me, as a fan, want to see him more. The last time we seen Bray Wyatt was when what? He attacked who? Kurt Angle, I think? Or who was it? Oh, Jerry King Lawler. The last time we seen Bray Wyatt was what? 2-3 weeks ago? I think it was 2-3 weeks ago. I believe so, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it was 2 or 3 weeks ago that we seen Bray Wyatt. We can see him on Sunday. Possibly, we can see him on Sunday. We're going to see him tomorrow. Most likely, we're going to see him tomorrow. Do we see him on Sunday? Does he attack Braun or Rollins? Most likely, he's going to attack Rollins. I don't know. I really don't know. But with this whole Wyatt Taker thing, if this is being booked right, by this company, let me tell you this right now. I think Taker, it's either Taker asked for this match against Bray Wyatt, or Wyatt wants to work against Taker. And Taker is one of those people that is behind Bray Wyatt's character. He's behind it. Believe me, he's behind it. Other than that, nothing else happened on this show tonight. Nothing. Outside of the Firefly Funhouse, outside of the Triple Threat King of the Ring matchup, and Rey versus Grand Matalik. What else happened on the show? Oh, yeah, and Austin's big pop to kick off Raw. What else happened on the show? Nothing. Same old generic shit every single week. Can October 2nd come any more fucking sooner? And that, folks, is the reality of things right here on Monday Night Raw Review. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed Raw Review tonight, hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. What was your favorite part of Monday Night Raw? Also, if you guys are new to the channel, show your support by hitting that subscribe button down below. Turn on those bells for notifications. Episode 57 of the Reality Podcast live on the channel right now. NBA 2K20 My Team Snipe Filter video live on the channel right now. Episode 56, 55, and NXT UK TakeOver Cardiff review live on the channel right now. All those videos will be in the annotation above that you see on the upper right hand corner of your screen. This is the official home of the Reality Podcast, so make sure you are following me on social media. Twitter, Chris from Loring, Snapchat, Chris was hated. And like I said, if you guys are enjoying the content, be sure to show your support by hitting that subscribe button down below and turn on those bells, guys, for notifications. I'll see you guys tomorrow for SmackDown review. Will Bray Wyatt show up and attack The Undertaker? Let's see. We get the other semi-final King of the Ring matchup. Who wins? Either Elias or Chad Gable. We'll find out tomorrow on SmackDown Live Review. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed the review, hit that thumbs up. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, share the video. All over social media. I'll see you guys tomorrow on SmackDown Live Review. Till then, I am Chris. Talk to you guys later.